Copyright applies to the following verbal and written content. With the exception of the content owner, complete content excerpts and links may be used for nonprofit purposes only, provided that full and clear credit is given to the following names wherein: Diary Single Woman, Diary of a Single Woman, and Miss Anonymous. Appropriate and specific direction to the original content must be used. All rights are reserved.
Hi, I'm Miss Anonymous with Diary of a Single Woman. I hope that you have been enjoying my true erotic stories from my diary. Yes, I do have a lot more true stories to share with you. But in the meantime, I have a proposition for you. Yes, a proposition. I want you to take a journey with me. Take a journey into a mysterious, taboo, and intriguing world of sensual fiction. A world that offers a place for you to escape from your normal daily life. A world that expands your mind beyond boundaries. Beyond boundaries you never knew you had. A world where you discover intimate thoughts and feelings you thought you were incapable of. A place where you can indulge in nail-biting stories. Oh yeah, this is going to be so damn good. I'm writing this lustful, adventurous novel just for you. I've named this series as a tribute to the breathtaking trilogy that had us all glued to our books and movie screens. Well, fasten your seatbelts, or should I say unfasten your seatbelts, and get ready to live life on the edge. Welcome to 50 Shades of Red.
Chapter 4, Part 1. Trying not to stare at the naked man and woman partaking in sexual, artistic acts on the television screen, I take another big gulp of my champagne, hoping that soon it will start to calm my nerves. Ethan takes hold of my waist again, signaling for us to move forward towards an empty space on one of the red velvet couches that outline the wall of the Red Lounge. As we approach the couch, above the sound of the sensual music playing in the background, I heard several hellos and hey Ethans from other guests who were already seated onto the couch. Wow, Ethan is a really popular guy, and judging by the looks on their faces, they were really elated to see him. I could see through the soft red, burgundy, and beige lighting the warm smiles I received from the women who were seated next to their dates. Trying my best to look calm, I reciprocated a smile, holding back my uneasiness of being in the lounge. Ethan gestures for me to have a seat, and then he sits down next to me. Ethan's friend, Dominic, had joined his date, who was sitting on a red velvet couch on the opposite side of the room. Ethan turns towards me and says, "Let me introduce you to Layla and Max." They were sitting to our right. "Layla, Max, I would like you to meet my date, Keeva Jamerson," Ethan said. I reached my hand out to greet them both. Max's hand was strong and firm. Layla's hand was soft, very soft, unbelievably soft. I had never felt skin that soft before. I just had to comment, "Your hand is so soft." Layla replied, "It's a special lotion called Silky Harvest. They will be selling it here tonight. You should buy one." "Oh, I didn't know products were being sold at the event," I said surprisingly. "Oh yes, there will be lots of wonderful products. Ethan didn't tell you?" "No, he hadn't mentioned it." Layla's facial expression suddenly changed as she saw Ethan listening in on our conversation. "Oh, I see. Well, I'm afraid I may have already said too much," Layla says as she begins to retreat back to the base of the couch. I quickly respond before she sits completely back. "So, do you go to these charity fundraiser events often?" I question. I wanted to pry as much information as I could to find out what kind of sexual circus I was attending tonight. "I've been to several of events over the years. Max and I like to keep things spicy. Some events are like this one, a charity event, and others are more catered towards the membership." As she looked up at Ethan, she continued to speak. "I'm sure Ethan plans to explain a lot more after tonight." I thought to myself, I sure as hell hope he does. He should have explained things to me before tonight. I raised my champagne glass to take another gulp and realized I had very little left. As Ethan takes a sip of his cocktail, he notices my empty glass and says, "If you're going to get another one of those, you had better put a few hors d'oeuvres on your stomach." I agreed and said that was a good idea. I placed my empty glass on the small table in front of us and said to Ethan, "Do you know where the restrooms are?" "Yes, make a left over there, walk down the hall, and you will see the restroom sign directly in front of you. Better yet, let me walk with you to show you." I replied, "No thanks, that's okay. It sounds like it's an easy place to find." Ethan gave a long stare at me, which was kind of weird. He said reluctantly, "Okay, if I don't see that you've made your way back in a few minutes, I will come and find you." Huh? Come and find me? Super weird. I'm just going to the bathroom. Well, the bathroom was a ploy for me to text my sister, Alina, about the crazy night I'm having. Plus, it's a good idea to let her know where I am in case things get crazy tonight. I just feel awkward and sort of disturbed with all of this unexpected sexual stuff. To alleviate Ethan walking up on me while I'm using the phone to spill my guts to Alina, I stare at him and say, The last time I checked, I had my big girl panties on, so I think I can make it to the potty and back on my own, thanks." Ethan leans over and whispers lightheartedly into my ear, "Big girl panties. From what I saw earlier when you were in the warehouse, they were more along the lines of cotton grandma panties. Don't worry, I'm going to fix that for you real soon and introduce you to naughty girl lace panties." I rolled my eyes as I stood up from the couch. "Okay, Mr. Fixer-Upper, I will be right back." As I started making my way towards the direction Ethan had instructed me to go, my thoughts immediately started racing through my head. I just wanted to get into the bathroom and tell my sister about what was happening. I normally talk with her once a week, but this couldn't wait. Our next chat wouldn't be until next week. Alina was my older sister, and I know she would give me good advice on how to handle the situation I was currently in. As I spotted the left turn I should take, I noticed that Dominic and his date had left their seats. I guess in my conversations I hadn't noticed that they had left the room. I made the left turn and saw the restroom sign all the way at the end of the hall. I sure hope Alina hasn't fallen asleep yet. She's a light sleeper, so I think I will just call her. I know she will hear the phone ringing. What the? On my left was a large window to what looked like a bedroom. All I saw was a semi-naked man pounding his steel into a woman whose breasts were bouncing up and down. I quickly take a few steps backwards. What the fuck? I slowly inch my head forward, just enough for one of my eyes to look through the window. Oh shit, that's Dominic and his date, sexing their brains out. I quickly withdraw my head backwards. I'm totally perplexed, and the champagne that's floating around in my empty stomach is starting to really bubble as a deep, sickening feeling starts to creep to the forefront. I stand there frozen in place with my mind swirling and the sensual lounge music making its way in and out of my ears. The palm of my hands become extremely sweaty. I can feel my underarm perspiration kick up a notch. I really want to get out of here. Ethan lied to me about this charity event. This is unheard of. My thoughts are interrupted by distant footsteps behind me. I frantically turn around and see a man approaching. I quickly turn back around, try to regain my composure, tilt my head slightly down towards the hallway floor, and begin to walk forward. I give myself a mental pep talk. You can do it. That's it. Left foot forward. Now the right foot forward. Keep your head tilted down. Don't look. Don't look. Okay, look. Just as I tilt my head up and to the left, I realized that I was dead smack in the middle of this huge hallway window. Dominic was looking right at my face as his date was lying on her back with her eyes closed, taking in all the pleasures that Dominic was giving her. With Dominic's eyes locked in place with mine, neither one of us changed our facial expressions. My face was covered with embarrassment, pure embarrassment. If there were a rock on the floor, I would have found a way to crawl under it. Dominic's facial expression had the look of dominance and thrill as he relished in two separate moments. A moment of dominance as he devoured his date's paradise, and a moment of thrill as he realized that I was watching them in their sexual hiatus. I did what any woman would do in my situation. I dropped to the floor so that I hid my body beneath the windowsill. In a hunchback position, I hobbled forward like a limp frog until I was completely past the window. In the process, the back of my velvet mini dress had raised up to my hip area. My cotton grandma panties kept back some of the cool air that was brushing against my skin. I quickly stand up and pull my dress down. I do a quick turnaround, and the man that was behind me had almost caught up. His face had a "what the hell" look on it. Realizing that he saw a frog-like woman with grandma panties scoot across the floor, I quickly turn back around and literally run to the ladies' room. The restroom matched the decor of the Red Lounge. The sensual music was still playing in the background. On a granite countertop were several neatly placed white washcloths. I grab one, go over to the sink, and turn on the cold water. I saturate the washcloth, then squeezed it until it was damp. I fold it and place it onto my forehead. The coolness was what I needed. I am sweating profusely. I moved the washcloth from my forehead and placed it on the back of my neck. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath, is what I kept repeating in my head. I placed the cool washcloth in a closed, dirty linen hamper. I fling the flap of my black purse open. Where's my cell phone? I dump all of the contents of my purse onto the counter. Lip balm, comb, cash. Shit! I forgot my damn cell phone. Now what am I going to do? This ends Chapter 4, Part 1. Tune in next week for Chapter 4, Part 2, as Keeva figures out what to do. Up next, the party is still going on, but Keeva has a choice to make. Does she stay and subject herself to more odd surprises? Or will she call it a night and demand that Ethan takes her home? You don't want to miss what's next. Here's a question for you. Would you stare into the window and continue to watch Dominic and his date indulge in sexual pleasures? Or would you turn a blind eye and pretend you didn't see anything? Don't forget to subscribe. I will be releasing an unscripted video for Chapter 4, Part 1 in the next few days. This is going to be so juicy. Yours truly, Miss Anonymous.